What is Raila Odinga's game plan with Peter Kenneth? That's the question which most Kenyans are currently asking. Because in the past few days or weeks, Peter Kenneth has been a constant figure around Raila Odinga. For example, when Raila Odinga was in Nyandarua, Peter Kenneth was amongst the few leaders who were around Raila Odinga. Peter Kenneth is not an elected leader. And we had so many leaders at that event. But Peter Kenneth was more closer to Raila Odinga than even most of the elected leaders. That in itself was sending a message. So in this video, I want to try and explain Raila Odinga's game plan with Peter Kenneth. But before we do that, if you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support. Without the support, this channel cannot be where it is today. So I want to make a request to you guys, the way you always love me, just give this particular video thumbs up. That's how you can support this channel. And those who are not yet subscribed to be part of channel membership, just click that join button now and follow the direct process. Now, what is Raila Odinga's game plan with Peter Kenneth? In my view, I tend to think that Raila Odinga has two game plans with Peter Kenneth. Either Peter Kenneth is going to be the gubernatorial candidate for Nairobi, or Peter Kenneth is going to be Raila Odinga's running mate. The truth of the matter is that Nairobi gubernatorial seat is going to be negotiated. It's going to be discussed on a table when coalitions will be formed. Remember already, Jubilee Party will not field a presidential candidate. They are going to support Raila Odinga. The other fact is that we might not have a serious or credible presidential candidate from the Kikuyu nation. And my question to you, which I want you to answer, do you think the Kikuyu nation would be comfortable missing out the presidency and missing out the Nairobi gubernatorial seat? I don't think so. They would be in a situation where they miss the presidency but insist on Nairobi. And that's why I am seeing Peter Kenneth headed to. In ODM party, for example, the only candidate who has declared his bid is the Westlands Member of Parliament, Tim Wanyonyi. And the other day, we witnessed Mama Ida Odinga endorsing Tim Wanyonyi's gubernatorial bid. But there was a problem after that. It was hurried, and I'm told it caused a lot of friction. And Tim Wanyonyi has been told to slow down a bit. The other candidate who was planning to run was Simba Arati. Simba Arati has strategically moved to Kisii, where he's likely to win the Kisii gubernatorial seat. So Nairobi is going to be discussed on a table during coalition formation. If that's going to be the case, Peter Kenneth is going to fit Raila Odinga's game plan. He's a Kikuyu. He has a name already. His record speaks for itself. So that's number one. Number two, it could be that Raila Odinga is preparing Peter Kenneth for presidential running mate. On this channel alone, I conducted an opinion poll. It's still there for those who want to see. In that opinion poll, I had asked subscribers on this channel that who should be Raila Odinga's running mate in 2022. Peter Kenneth emerged the winner by garnering 36%, followed closely by Martha Karua at 26%. Then there was Kalonzo Musyoka, who garnered 16%. Then Hassan Joho and Lee Kinyanjui tied at 11%. So the fact that Peter Kenneth topped that opinion poll, in my view, is significant. So I tend to think that probably Raila Odinga is narrowing down on Peter Kenneth as his preferred presidential candidate. Otherwise, he would not be walking around with Peter Kenneth almost everywhere when the opportunity or the window was still open to the rest. For example, to Martha Karua. But why should Raila Odinga consider Peter Kenneth? That's the question. Can Peter Kenneth be the best presidential running mate for Raila Odinga? Those are the questions. And to answer those questions, we need to figure out what a credible, a serious presidential candidate should bring to the table. The first thing a presidential running mate should bring to the table is the ability to raise funds for the presidential candidate, even for the gubernatorial race. So if Peter Kenneth wants to run for the gubernatorial race, he must be able to raise funds to fund that campaign. In the last election, when Kidero was the ODM candidate for Nairobi, he funded that entire campaign. I also believe that Sonko funded the entire campaign in Nairobi. Gubernatorial races are not child play. You must fund the members of parliament, you must fund the MCS. Peter Kenneth has that ability. He can do that. If he can't do that, Peter Kenneth can easily go to his friends. And who are Peter Kenneth's friends? The Mount Kenya Foundation. Mount Kenya Foundation is playing a key role around Raila Odinga. And Mount Kenya Foundation can easily raise enough money for Peter Kenneth for his Nairobi gubernatorial race and even for the Raila Odinga Peter Kenneth ticket if need be. The tycoons from Murang'a are interested on having Raila Odinga Peter Kenneth ticket for 2022. So that's number one. The second thing is that a serious gubernatorial candidate or a serious running mate should be someone who is able to lead campaigns in the absence of the party or in the absence of the party leader. Can Peter Kenneth campaign alone in Nairobi without President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga backing him? Can he do that? Such that if Raila Odinga will be busy with other regions, Peter Kenneth will be leading ODM campaigns in Nairobi. If you ask me, he can do that. And assuming Peter Kenneth is appointed as the running mate for Raila Odinga, can Peter Kenneth lead successful campaigns for Raila Odinga the way Raila Odinga did when Mwai Kibaki was on a wheelchair? I think he can. What needs to happen is that Raila Odinga just needed to expose him a little, because Peter Kenneth has been elected before. That's number one. Number two, apart from being elected, Peter Kenneth has contested for the presidency. He contested again for the gubernatorial race. So he's not new to campaigns. So I also believe that when pushed, Peter Kenneth can actually lead a presidential campaign in the absence of Raila Odinga. Just like if you look at the ODM side, Joho can lead the campaigns. Oparanya can lead. Who else? On William Ruto's side, maybe Duale can lead campaigns in the absence of Ruto. Who else? Maybe Nanok, I don't know. What about in ANC? They must have someone who has the ability, the capacity to lead campaigns. Number three, in my view, is the Murang'a factor. The mere fact that Peter Kenneth comes from Murang'a gives him an advantage over other presidential candidates. And I want to assume that Raila Odinga is narrowing his choice to the larger Mount Kenya region. If he's narrowing his choice to the larger Mount Kenya region, his best bet would be Murang'a. But there's Martha Karua. And Martha Karua is actually getting endorsement from who? Moses Kuria. Why is Moses Kuria endorsing Martha Karua? Probably to fight Peter Kenneth. Because if Peter Kenneth and Raila Odinga's ticket succeeds, then it will place Peter Kenneth as a potential president. Moses Kuria is interested in the presidency, so which means he would want a situation where Peter Kenneth is blocked. And that's why he supports Martha Karua. Because Martha Karua, of course, can qualify as a running mate, but I don't think on her own she can get the right number of votes. So the fact that he comes from Murang'a has never produced a president from the larger Kikuyu nation. So the only people who have not. So to deal with that issue, I think Peter Kenneth is being fronted. And number 4 is his past records. If you look at Peter Kenneth and his Gatanga constituency when he was the member of parliament, his record speaks for itself. So which means Peter Kenneth coming on board would not require an explanation. What he can do. Already he has a track record. So Raila Odinga will not have a problem. Like, let's say if Raila were to pick Mwangi, the CEO of Equity, because he's also being mentioned. He's a successful man. But politically, we've not seen him. So it might be a problem. He might have succeeded in the technocrat world. He might have succeeded as a technocrat. Just like Kidero succeeded as a technocrat. But when he was handed Nairobi, has failed. The Kiambu governor, there's a majority of governors in this country who have failed were actually serious technocrats. Running serious companies, but they've failed. So Peter Kenneth has that track record. The track record which very few people actually possess. And lastly is the numbers. Politics is a game of numbers. Why is Raila Odinga not going for Kalonzo Musyoka? Of course, I'm not saying he's not going for him. He can go for him. But not the way he did last time. It's because of the game of numbers. Raila Odinga needs the Kikuyu votes. If he can get 40% of the Kikuyu votes, then the Nairobi politics will be sorted out. If he can get the support of the Kikuyu, Nairobi politics will be sorted out. 30% or 40% of the Kikuyu votes would cancel the votes from Mukambani. You know, Kikuyus are all over, so Raila Odinga would easily win. Because if appointing Peter Kenneth as a Raila Odinga's running mate will persuade the Kikuyu nation to support Raila Odinga, then Raila Odinga is going to benefit in a big way. I don't know what you think. That's my thoughts. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.